Okay, I've decided I'm going to talk about how I cope with anxiety, and the short story is I don't. Um, but you know, there's got to be things that you're supposed to do to like help calm you down. I know a lot of people say meditation. I've kind of tried meditation in the past, but I just get too stressed out. And I know that sounds kind of ironic, but it's just I can't. I don't have it in me to be that focused, and I'm in too much of a noisy environment. And obviously, I have anxiety. I'm not going to go outside and go somewhere and meditate, am I? So that's not really an option for me because I don't know. I just don't think it would work. Like I feel like I wouldn't be able to cope with doing things like doing that because it's like a commitment. I think, and I'm not very good at deadlines. Deadlines give me anxiety, and that would feel like a deadline. Like that would feel like part of a routine. I just remembered I have not taken the pill this morning. I have a pill for period pain because I never see it's a contraceptive as well, but I don't use it for that. I use it because I thought, oh, I could try and stop my periods because they're really heavy. No, no, that didn't work. I just remembered I haven't taken it. You're supposed to obviously take it at a certain time. I'll take it after this. So meditation doesn't work for me. The thing I've started to do is kind of an experiment. I'm very artistic. I'm just not very good at it. I love like creative things. So I write a lot, but the thing is, writing can stress me out because you've got to think of the right word. So what I've started to do is I'm trying to do like abstract art. I've even got some palette knives as well, and I'm just like painting. Not trying to be good at it. I'm just kind of like doing whatever I want because and I have some canvases because I'm hoping doing that will like make me feel better in some way. I'm just hoping, I'll feel more like relaxed doing that. I've only done one so far, and I think it does help. But at the same time, that can be stressful. It just depends on like the environment you're in, I suppose, because you've got to get all of it out and stuff. Whereas I use acrylic paint and I keep it in like this little tub. So after you use it, acrylic paint will stay wet if you keep it like sealed. If it's not sealed, acrylic paint dries incredibly fast. So maybe if you're gonna think about doing painting, make it so it's like you don't have to make a lot of mess. Like I'm not using paintbrushes because then you have to wet them and make sure they're clean. Whereas with a palette knife, it doesn't matter as much. And it's like I'm using a plastic one at the moment. I'm gonna get metal ones eventually, I think maybe, but and they're easy to clean. So maybe doing a hobby like that where it's something that could help you as a distraction, but it's not gonna, give you more responsibility, than you need. But some people like that. I think some people like that as a distraction. The thing I really want at the minute, I really want a dog. I used to have two Labradors, but unfortunately they both passed away through old age related causes because Labradors are supposed to live between the ages of 10 and 12. One of them died, I believe, when he was 12, and the other one lived to 14. So they did live quite a long time. And I really miss having a dog. I want a dog that's like mine personally, not like a family dog, but it's like a dog I look after because I think that would be nice and it'd be like something to focus on. Like I have my cats and stuff, but I think if I had a dog and I went outside, I'd feel a lot safer. Maybe I don't know. I know in a lot of countries you can get like anxiety dogs. I think they're called service dogs, but in this country, unfortunately, you can't. Otherwise, I would probably I'd probably need one. I think painting is a good hobby though. Obviously, having pets is good too, but I can't really have a hamster or a rabbit or anything because I have a cat who she was originally the runt of the litter, but she's actually a killer now, and she likes to go and kill animals and bring them back, including weasels, moles, and rabbits. Anything. She's not very big. She's just a small black cat, and she just brings back these giant animals. Gives us a nice present. I do think painting is a good idea. Maybe if you did have a fish, I think would be good, or like a hamster perhaps. But for me, I think painting. In a way, you could argue my writing does help, but it depends what. Like, I can't write poetry when I've got anxiety. Definitely not. Writing my book, maybe it's good. It's a distraction. Not necessarily writing it, but thinking about writing my book sometimes helps. That's nice. But the thing I really like to do, you may have seen some of them come up, is I really like to like edit things that are really pointless and like nobody would care about, but it's just something for me to do. Like I like to edit videos and like to change meanings of things, but only stuff that I'm interested in. Just because it's definitely a good distraction for me. I've done it for a long time, but I've never really had the skills to be able to do it properly until now. I haven't really been editing any of these videos because I could do if I wanted to, but I just feel like they're more authentic this way, and there's nothing really I would want to cut out of them anyway. Even the mistakes, because I have anxiety. There are going to be mistakes, and maybe it would make people feel better about the mistakes they make. I see some very awkward things. I could probably make a video on all the really embarrassing, awkward things I've said throughout my life because there is a long list. Um, I think everybody does, but when you've got anxiety, it means more to you, doesn't it? You remember it more. That is not a good hobby, thinking about things like that, you know. I worry a lot about people, and I think when I worry about people, I like to make edits and stuff. It helps pass the time, I think. If you're somebody who's got anxiety and you're trying to pass the time, try to like edit something or something like that. I think that's why a lot of people like colouring. It doesn't work for me because my hands get like I get really bad pain in my hands very quickly if I colour in. But I always have. When I was younger, I could never colour in the lines. I still barely can to this day. But a lot of people say that really helps them. So I think maybe if you don't want to do something like editing, we have to like use a phone or a computer. I would recommend probably colouring would be a good thing to do if you've got anxiety. I don't really think there's anything else for me that works because just so many things stress me out, and I just get really. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even want to say. I don't. I used to get really severe panic attacks, but now I don't really consider them panic attacks. It's more anxiety attacks, but I've never really been that clear on the difference. Panic attacks to me feels more like it's physical. You can't breathe. You like literally can't breathe. Obviously you are breathing, but you can't. You don't feel like that. In my experience, the only difference I can feel really is with a panic attack, I feel like I'm not breathing. With an anxiety attack, I know I'm breathing, but I just feel like I'm gonna die and like the world's kind of like caving in on me. I have them a lot, and it's just sometimes it's even hard to notice that. Like I can tell I'm having them, but the people might not realise, and that happens a lot. And people just, they don't see there's anything wrong with the panic attack. I think it's more visibly clear there's something wrong. With the anxiety attack, somebody could look at you and just think you look a bit like, stressed, but not anything in particular. So I think I like to try and avoid any situations that give me anxiety as much as possible. That's why I like to avoid the outside, but I can't always avoid the outside because it's right there. So I think all the things that I've said would be a good idea to help cope with anxiety.